What up, family? So I was having a conversation with a brother over Bible study last night, and I was like, man, I don't want to be this super stuck up, strict dude in my walk with the Lord. And we were talking back and forth about it, especially because I want to make a whole course around, I think, the most dangerous book of the Bible. But that's another story for another day. After God gives me full consent, because I'm absolutely nervous, have been nervous about it for a year, about making that. But bringing it back, I just got a message from God, I think, answering that question about, well, you don't have to be this stuck-up jerk face. I don't want you to be. Do you forget that David danced until he was naked while worshiping me? Like, how much more liberal can you get when it comes to that? And basically my perspective is like, since I grew up in Chicago and I love Chicago and I love Atlanta and I love Georgia for different reasons, but they're on effectively opposite sides of the political spectrum, I want to bring a balanced viewpoint to Christianity and not just, again, be some stuck-up jerk face. And so I felt like God was telling me, man, you seem to forget that all this art that was created out of my creation, the Bible, there's no other media that has ever created the vast amounts of artwork or even just commentary. Like, to this day, there's probably a trillion videos a day being made in observance of the Bible alone. So create your art and obviously have some degree of discernment about it. And my buddy, who ironically we just met like 2 weeks ago at church, and now we're like best friends, who had that Bible study together, he basically opened me up to a verse that talks about, hang with whoever, just don't do the same sins. Like, if you walk into a place and they're playing, hip-hop music, don't be like yelling out all these profanities and just pretending as if you're not of a higher calling, like that sort of thing, which is also a little difficult because I love hip-hop. I don't repeat necessarily the bad words when I'm singing along to it, but it kind of goes back into the discernment piece. And I know my body better than anyone, obviously. I know if I'm listening to hip-hop that's going to lead me into sin. I can feel that in my body. So just different things to keep in mind. So if you happen to be like me, where you grew up in a more liberal city, you still love it. You see all the creative genius that came out of it. In my case, Second City, that outputted so many amazing comedians that we see today. All of the comedians from Canada that are very liberal leaning, of course. All of New York City, like, it's laughable to say, oh, these people are crazy, when the genius, the comedic output, I think ironically, when you experience God, you actually start to generate jokes from talking to God, because life, even in tragedy, can be quite hilarious, and he could let you see jokes in tragedy and in benefit. And if you're just kind of stuck in resentment, then one could argue you don't really see God, because you're kind of just stuck in that. You can't have your eyes open to any other viewpoint. Of course, there's exceptions. We got Ricky Gervais, the genius who's an atheist, who has made untold amounts of comedy. And it's funny to see Stephen Colbert, every time Ricky visits his show, he always tries to get him to be a convert. but Rick is not having any of it. But anyways, that's it for this video. Later.